going to show you today how to make the arms as I've promised. So I'm going to take the bits out that I need. That's all I'm going to use out of this box today. Let's put this back here. So making the arms, and I'm going to follow my own instructions because I'm very, very good making up new stuff, because I'm notoriously never follow my own instructions. So in the order of events, you're going to make the head first of the fairy, and then you're going to make the hands, and you need to use a new steel wire to make the hands, and you're going to take off 28 centimeters. So you measure that, whether you measure it against your instructions, which has got the tape measure here on the left, or whether you have a ruler. In any case, you have to just use your pliers and snip off 28 centimeters. So you're left with a 17 centimeter wire length, which you're going to put to one side. So don't lose this. You will need that. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take a wisp of your milk chocolate wool. Now, if you this is a tip, because we need to have this end wrapped so tight and so neat that to help you with this, you could use all kinds of things, including our beeswax balm. You could be using fluff grip if you haven't ever used that before, or you could also just stick the wire into the end of a glue bottle, which is also really useful. So just stick the wire in there and cover the end, and that is just so that you have a short bit, about 2 to 3 centimeters, no more, covered with glue, and that will give you a good grip to establish the wool so that it doesn't twist around. Now these steel wires are brilliant for the wool to grip into it anyway. And so you wrap the one end thinly with brown wool, covering about 5 centimeters. Keep it nice and thin. And then you're going to bend. I just need to measure that I've done the right distance. Not quite yet, almost. So you wrap it nice and thin. If you've never seen how wool is wrapped around wire, it's always kept flat. So you're folding it over rather than holding onto it and twisting it. And once you've done 5 centimeters, just for the sake of this, I'm going to take the wool off, and just so that it literally is exactly like the instructions. And then I'm going to close this loop so that the 2 wires meet, like that. And that is where you might need your pliers to twist the wire around each other, or you could try and use your fingers. It is quite a stiff wire. I can definitely do it with my fingers, but not everybody has got fingers of steel. So close the loop up. So your diameter of this loop should be about 1.5 centimeters. Bang on. Excellent. And then you're going to push in one on top of the wire, but you're not pushing right in the middle. You're sort of pushing further to one side, and that one will make the thumb, and the bigger one will make the rest of the hand. And then you've got to wrap the whole hand up so that you haven't got the wires side by side. You want to make it one entire shape. So I'm starting at the wrist, and then I've got to work my way around the hand. Make it really, really thin and sparing the wool. So don't go crazy on covering this up really thickly, because you will spoil all your nice neat work. And so maybe once or twice around each, and then get rid of your excess wool, if you've got any, by wrapping the rest of the arm, which needs wrapping anyway. So once you've done that, if you need to needle felt into the hand, you can do so. If you feel there's some wispy bits that need to be tucked away, you just finish wrapping the rest of the wool out of the way. You can do this. If you are doing this, then try and stop between the 2 wires. So use your medium needle sorry, your fine. Are you getting a fine or a medium in this one? Oh no, you're getting a fine needle. stab into, with your fine needle, stab into the bits between the wires as best as you can, and do this on both sides. So do work really close to the work close to the wool rather than the wire. So try not to go crazy into there with your needle. And then you've made a little fist that you can then shape. You can make it more like a palm, put it together like that, like that. So that's entirely up to you. And then you repeat this on the other side. And as I've got to do this on the other side anyway, I'm going to do this now. Whilst you're watching, and I am actually looking whilst I'm doing this. I had made a head ready to show you how to do the next step. Oh yes, I've just found it. Right, let's go back to how to make the arms. So you take off a wisp of the wool like that, and then you want to cover about 5 centimeters. You could also mark that already by bending it slightly. Stick your wire into the nozzle of a glue bottle, or use our why is that not going in now? There. Use our beeswax balm to give you a little bit of grip. You don't have to do any of that. You can just use the wire. It's slightly serrated, this steel wire, so it should grip nicely. And then wrap your wool really tight and dense around the end of this wire. So I've got to do it in 2 stages because the wool's come off. If you have to restart, then go around it in the same direction. So don't start winding the wool around in another direction. So 5 centimeters. Work with measurements so that you can make 2 of the same hands. And once you've done that, then you're going to bend the wire into a loop where the 5 centimeters are. Just going around, making that nice and tight. So now I'm bending the loop in, and I'm securing the end of the wire around the main arm wire. Might have to use pliers to do this. So make sure you tuck away that sharp end there. So you've got a nice loop there, and then you're going to bend the wire in towards one side rather than the other. So bend it in, and then you basically, you've got a fist and you've got a thumb. It's almost like you're making a heart shape, but it's a slightly wonky heart. So, and then you're going to use your brown wool, and you are going over the whole shape. Go over the thumb, over the hand. As I say, give this hand a go if you want to, but if you're finding it too complicated, then you could just follow on the back of our newsletter this month, which is in your box. You will see the instructions of how to make just a plain hand. So you could just follow those instructions instead, and be done with that. But once you've made your set of arms, so you're covering all of the arms up, going along it. You might have to go over that again if you want to have the arms a little bit thicker, unless you like her having very dainty little arms. All you need to remember is that you're going to not cover right in the center of the arms. Now where you can see the wool getting a little bit unwound there, I'm not too worried about it because that's the top of the arm of the fairy. So I'm not going to, we're going cover. This is going to be covered later on with the golden orange anyway, so I'm not too worried about that, but you could just tighten it a little bit or felt it down a bit. But it's not the end of the world if the wool comes a little bit loose at the top of the arm. As long as it's nice and neat around the hands and the lower arm, then you're absolutely fine. There's the set of arms that I've made, and now I'm going to show you how to make, how to fasten the arms to the head. So once you've fastened the arms onto the fairy, which involves sort of a twisting around the body shape. Sometimes you do it once, sometimes you can do it twice. Especially if you've got quite long arms, you can definitely do it twice. Shift the arms up